Hi, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. I'm just getting set up. I am so unprepared. How is everybody today? Meg, hi. Hi, my friend. How is everybody? Let me just get everything set up here. That's going, and this is going. Oh my goodness. How are you guys? I'll get into how I feel in a minute as everybody is hopping on. I had to reschedule yesterday's live stream. I had worked basically all week and all weekend, and I was tired and I just couldn't. I was in bed, and the last thing that you want to do when you're in bed is get out of bed. I made the mistake of lying down for a minute after work yesterday, and I just couldn't get back up to do the live stream. So we're going to be doing it now. Oh my goodness. All right. How is everybody? How's everybody feeling? Hello, everybody. Say hi in the chat box. Let me know that you're here. Oh my goodness. It has just been intense energy, hasn't it? Okay, let me do some housekeeping while everybody is hopping on. Hopefully everybody saw the reschedule. So let me do some housekeeping. First of all, I did a oopsie. We're used to that by now, right? I did an oopsie and forgot to post one of the Twin Flame Truths excerpts. So that is now up and available on the channel. There's 5 parts of that series. It is excerpts from the Twin Flame Truths workshop. So make sure that if you want the full workshop, the full 3-hour channeling, you check that out on my website. But I did want to post some of those excerpts, some of those clips here on the channel. So there's a series of 5. So make sure that you are checking that out. What else did I want to say? Make sure that you're following me now on Instagram, here on YouTube, and on Facebook, because we're going to be kind of segmenting some stuff. So YouTube, I'm starting to do shorts, so daily messages using the YouTube shorts, which have been a lot of fun. So make sure that you're checking those out. Over on Instagram, I'm going to be posting some Instagram exclusive collective messages, so make sure you're checking that out. And over on Facebook, I'm sharing some articles and things of that nature as I feel called to. And we also have the Spiritual Connections community, the Facebook group. So you guys, if you love this community, you can go over there, join. It's a private group, but it's a safe space, a sacred space where you guys can interact and just kind of talk about this journey. You guys are so amazing in these live chats and in my comment sections, really supporting each other and loving each other along this journey. And that's what we're here for. That's what's necessary. So do make sure that you are checking that out as well. And joining that. And we're going to have, I think, a live stream to kind of introduce everybody exclusively to that Facebook group coming up. So make sure that you're staying tuned to that. We want to really get some engagement going over there. Last thing, the live stream message poll for the Patreon is going to be tomorrow night. So if you want to join that and get some messages, personalized light channeling with the messages, my decks that I use, make sure that you're joining the Patreon, and then we'll roll into next month. We're also going to have a special Halloween channeling just for Patreon subscribers. So tomorrow night's Patreon channeling is only for Ascension Connections tier subscribers. It's the highest tier, but then the channeling on Halloween is going to be for everybody who's a Patreon subscriber. So make sure that you're checking that out. All right, let's see who is here. And let me get a hair clip because for some reason I have been getting very hot on these live streams. Lots of energy. The Eclipse energy hit me early this weekend. What a doozy. Yep. I've been feeling it yesterday and today. So much energy pouring in. Nilda, you are eating a salad. Oh, that sounds delicious. I've been really just focusing on like my body and food and stuff like that. And I know some of my friends have been doing that too. And I had for dinner, it was toast with avocado and like an egg, like an egg, like the dippy eggs. And it was the first time I've ever had that. And it was really good. I feel like my tastes are changing. I got these little like containers, these glass containers where they have little compartments, and it's helping me eat a lot more fresh foods. I'm really doing like food prep. It's helping me eat a lot more fresh foods and just be really mindful of the foods that I'm eating. And I don't know, I'm really enjoying like the food prep aspect of it. It's just something different, especially when, the energies felt so heavy that I felt like I needed food to ground. And now it feels like I'm eating a lot lighter foods and just enjoying that. So food is very interesting. I also want to say this too. I've noticed a lot of color therapy. I'm experiencing a lot of color therapy. I noticed that a little bit a couple of weeks ago where I realized I was wearing yellows or I was wearing reds, especially the reds, or I was wearing more blues than usual. And I realized it was corresponding with what I was really experiencing. I noticed that especially with the reds that I was wearing, that all I wanted to wear was like red colored clothing. And I realized it was because I was working on my root chakra. So especially that corresponds with the foods as well. If you're eating more red foods, more orange foods, that color therapy really kind of corresponds with the energy, and what's being worked on, what's being healed energetically. So I caught a pattern within myself. I should say I was mindful of the things I was wearing, the foods I was eating, and how it was corresponding to the energy I was feeling. So it's been interesting. Melissa, hi love. Hi Ruth. Smoky quartz has been very helpful for clearing and settling energy. Yeah, Jen, awesome. Yeah, I work at a crystal shop, in my other my other, how do I say this? I have like 3 businesses, and then I also work at a crystal shop. So I'm surrounded by these beautiful crystals and beautiful energy all day. It's a lot of fun. Hi, Ariana. How are you, honey? Hi, Kelly. Hi, Ellen. All right, so what do we have? We have the eclipse energy, and I really feel like this eclipse energy is impacting the masculine most of all. Now, it's the masculine inside of ourselves as well, so we're going to be feeling this too. All right, here's going on. I can't. We're not going to be fighting this today. It's getting too hot. This is ridiculous. All right, here we go. So I feel like it's going to be really impacting the masculines most of all. I'm going to get this one too. So we're going to do some channeling today and find out how and why. Throat chakra clearing. I noticed that for me on, I think it was Friday or Saturday. As I was heading to work, I was talking with a friend, and I felt like my throat chakra kind of like closing up, and it was weird. It just felt like a clearing. It didn't feel like anything was being held back. It just felt like something was clearing, something was being expressed, or something wanted to be expressed. It was really interesting. You roasted a tray of tomatoes, garlic, onions, and red peppers and pureed them into. Oh, that sounds amazing. I've been wanting to do roasted vegetables. I'm activation of hibernation mode. I spent most of the summer and spring and summer just in a high state of stress, but coming down from that stress, traveling, going for drives, going for walks, going for hikes, just wanting to be out and about in the world. And now it's like activation or hibernation mode activated. I am now just wanting to curl up, be comfy. I'm in my comfy clothes right now. How many of you are in your comfy clothes right now? I'm just really wanting just to kind of hibernate, but in a really like self-nurturing kind of way. It feels good. It feels just comfortable. Um, I think it's just here. It's the weather. If it's still October, but it feels for me like November weather. Just really beautiful with the changing of the seasons, but also like rainy and a little bit dismal and stuff like that, and just makes me want to just curl up and read good books and I don't know, just spend time with myself. So I don't know. I have entered hibernation mode, but I did a lot of traveling. I have another trip coming up in November, but I did a lot of traveling and just going out and being active in the summer. And I feel like now it's time to like kind of slow down, rest, take it easy, just be. And I feel like that's okay. All right. How about we check in on these energies? So, this eclipse energy, we're in the energy right now. We're in the new moon energy. I think 4 in the morning, something like that. I mean, depends on where we are in the world, of course. But we're going to be having this new moon eclipse, and it just feels like it's changing everything. Where's my phone? I had channeled something. Hold on. Okay, work emergency. All right, let's see. I had channeled something this morning for the collective message that you can see on Instagram, the community tab here, and on Facebook. It was interesting. We talked about the new moon eclipse that's occurring tonight. We're already feeling this transformative energy, especially as we welcome in Scorpio season. So, all you Scorpios out there, happy birthday. Saturn has also stationed direct, which means anywhere the energy was stagnant will be picking up momentum and forward action that is more aligned with our truth and authenticity versus conforming to old patterns within ourselves and society. There's an energy of balance coming through with this cosmic support. On the one hand, it feels as if we're being asked to anchor into our growth and dive deeper in, than ever into the core of ourselves, including our shadows and our light. At the same time, we're ending so many cycles, some even years long, that are leading us to plant new seeds, new visions, new versions of ourselves that will propel us forward drastically into a quantum leap of soul growth and evolution. So, this energy, especially with the eclipse, I feel like it's really activating the masculine energy. Again, this could be the masculine energy within us because we have obviously both masculine and feminine energy within us, but it's creating this transformative energy for quantum shift, for this massive transformation within our evolution. The spread that I had pulled was indicative of the beauty of our ascension and spiritual journey and what true soul growth can bring if we, in our awareness and conscious development, surrender and allow it to take place. Through your personal growth, which includes acknowledging and healing traumas, patterns, and releasing anything unaligned to who you are on a soul level, you're planting those new seeds not only for your individual life, but for the collective on this planet. You're helping to create new roots for the future generations through the shift within yourself that will in time bloom new seeds of abundance, prosperity, and growth. So basically, through your personal growth, you're actually helping to plant new seeds for future generations and help to shift the entire collective. Your personal evolution has a ripple effect on everything and everyone around you. It is not in vain. And we talk about that a lot. It might feel very exhausting. I know we are all exhausted right now, especially with this energy. But it's all for a purpose. It's all for your own individual ascension and growth. And it is for the collective, for this planet. It is not in vain. The work that you're doing, the inner work that you're doing, is going to have a massive effect and help you transform your individual life experience, what you're experiencing as a human. It's going to shift you forward. So if you have been unhappy or just kind of misaligned or feeling like you're not really doing what you want to be doing or you're not where you want to be, doing the inner work is what gets you there. Shifting your perspectives, shifting your mindsets, shifting your beliefs, shifting within yourself, healing within yourself, especially those old patterns that you've picked up over the course of your lifetime, is what is going to shift you forward and change the course of your life. It's nothing external. It's not money that's going to give you a change in life. It might change your circumstances, but it's not going to change the energy. It's not a new job that's going to change anything for you. Again, it might change the circumstances, but it's not going to change you within. It's not going to change the energy. New relationship, again, might change the circumstances, but it's not going to change the energy. You change from within, and then you experience those beautiful changes in your financial situation, in your job, in your relationship. It all gets better because you are healing within you. So it is not in vain. Nothing that you're doing when it comes to your inner development and work is in vain. Keep putting in the effort for your life. What is it that you wish to create for your individual experience? What do you dream? What inspires your heart? Take guided action as the universe meets you with new opportunities for you to shine your soul light and live in your embodied truth. This cosmic energy is supporting you to become all that you are. how are you going to respond? And that is an individual choice. And here I want to give a shout out to one of my best friends, Meg. She said something today. We were chatting tonight, we were catching up tonight, and she said something that she heard somewhere, and I can't remember it because I'm channeling. So let me double check it. What did you say, Meg? She said the opposite of trauma is choice. And we had certainly experienced that. We're talking about how we have certainly experienced that when we were going through our illness, because she's somebody that I experienced that we were supporting each other through illness. I've known her for many, many years. And then we ended up doing this ascension journey together. But she shared that she had heard the opposite of trauma is choice, and it really does become our choice to heal, our choice to decide we don't want to sit in the trauma anymore. We don't want to sit in the pain. We don't want to sit in the patterns, that we want changes for ourselves and for our lives, that we don't want to abandon ourselves anymore, that we don't want to feel that neglect, that we don't want to feel that rejection, that we don't want to feel drained or bad or critical of ourselves. And we don't want to experience that reflection of what we've been seeing in our physical world, because everything that is in our physical world was a reflection of what we were experiencing inside. And so you make that choice to transcend that trauma. It doesn't mean that it's not without its challenges, it's not without its work. It takes a lot of work to heal from trauma, to heal from pain. We don't deny that aspect of this journey, but it comes down to choices, individual choices, making that step, step by step by step. That's what it's all about. It's funny. I was speaking with a divine masculine in a coaching session a couple of weeks ago, and I keep getting from spirit like these homework assignments. So I had him read The Alchemist because that's what came through. And then the next homework assignment was, okay, you're being asked to watch Frozen 2. And if you've ever watched Frozen 2, I remember the first time I watched it, I'm like, oh my God, this is Ascension. This is the twin flame journey. Frozen 2, like not the first one, but Frozen 2 is absolutely the twin flame journey represented in Anna and Elsa as the masculine and the feminine, but as one. And you can see that play out in their journey, their individual journeys, because essentially Anna and spoiler alert, Anna and Elsa are separated, right? They're really close as sisters, almost as one, right? That energy so close as family, as one. And essentially they are separated along their journey, having to discover within themselves their strength, their courage, their resilience, and their truth. And understanding that it comes from inside. And that's what we're talking about here. You have to heal. And there was also some past generational trauma that they were healing in that movie as well, which is exactly what we're doing on this ascension journey. So, really, this is assignment for all you guys. Look at it with fresh eyes. Watch that movie with some fresh eyes. Watch that movie through the lens of this journey, through the lens of ascension. And it's wild. It's wild. But it becomes a choice. And I say that because Anna has a song there where she's been separated from her sister, and she's going through her own kind of ascension, her own journey, her own path. And she sings a song about taking the next right step. I forget how it goes or the exact lyrics, but taking the next right step, that's all you have to do. You might not be able to see so far ahead in your journey or how everything comes together or where it's leading or how it's converging or how all the puzzle pieces fit together, but you don't have to know that. You don't have to know that because that's what God is doing. That's what the universe knows. You just have to anchor in and embody that trust and that faith and just take the next right step, the intuitive step, that intuitively guided action that you're feeling within your heart space. Trust that intuition. And that's the balance of the masculine and the feminine, where the feminine energy receives that guided intuition, that nugget of take this step. And the masculine is the one that physically takes that step, that grounds that energy and physically takes that active step. That's the balance. That's the union within you, within all of us. And we really see that play out within counterpart connections. But with this ascension journey, it's within all of us. So trusting that next right step and taking that next right step is the balance and the union of the masculine and the feminine. So All right, that's your homework assignment. Watch Frozen 2. All right. Whew. I love when spirit just like gets me on like a rampage. It's just such a flood of energy, and I don't even know what I'm saying, but it all comes from the heart. It's the same when I'm writing my fiction. It all just like comes up from like the seat of my soul, and I don't know where it's coming from. And it feels almost like a miracle. Like when I'm putting the words on the page, it feels like a miracle because it's like, I know it's not coming from my mind. I know it's not coming from my mind. It feels like it rises up within me and it just spills forth in this flood of love and emotion and creativity, and that's what it feels like when I'm channeling. It's a flood of energy, and I love it so much. So thank you guys for the opportunity to be able to do this. What I do, I absolutely love what I do. All right, how are we doing? Let's get some cards on the table. Do me a favor, if this is resonating with you, hit that thumbs up button. That helps. That really helps the algorithm. That really helps me reach more and help to expand our community here. I love you, Meg. All right, fruition. This is one of the cards that came out in this morning's spread, and that's what we were talking about. You're planting the seeds for this. This is like for the next generation. This is for, and it's not just the next generation, like you're part of this too. Don't negate yourself. Don't say, oh, I have to do all of this and I'm not going to reap any of the rewards. You reap the rewards within your own life. It's not that you're doing all this work and you're not going to see any of the abundance, any of the prosperity, any of the success, any of the love, any of the expansion. You're going to see it, you're going to feel it and experience it, because as within, so without. But you are laying the foundation not only for your own life, but for this planetary ascension. And that's what it is. Generations to come, even though it feels like the world is kind of fucked up right now and just complete chaos, and it looks like it's being destroyed. It looks like there's so much destruction. It looks like everything's being dismantled. You have to have that dismantling of the old in order for the new to take place. And we're part of it all. We are all part of it all. We are all playing parts. We're all playing roles. To plant the seeds for this. Everybody, every single person on this planet. It might be hard to see because it's sometimes difficult to look through that lens, that higher level lens, but every single person in some way, shape, or form is playing a part in creating this. Every single one of us. Spirit had you watch Hancock to understand the magnitude of twin flames. I have no idea what that is, but that intrigues me, and so I'm going to look that up afterwards. Yeah, go with where you're guided. Throughout my journey as well, I mean, my whole life, I've trusted this. Read the books that you're guided to read, watch the shows that you're guided to watch, but trust your intuition. You know, there's usually messages in the things that you're guided to watch. For example, when I was in college, I watched a show called Joan of Arcadia. When I was in high school, I loved General Hospital, and so one of the main actors on that show had starred in Joan of Arcadia, and it's a show about well, the theme song is Joan Osborne's "What If God Was One of Us," and it was a gorgeous show. It only lasted for 2 years, but it was a gorgeous show about this girl named Joan, kind of like Joan of Arc, who has been coming in lately, and we are going to be channeling her coming up. Probably wait until November, but Joan of Arc has been coming up as well. To her energy has been around us, but I'm being reminded of this girl would be speaking to God or seeing God, and she would think that she was crazy. And just, I think it was like a year or two ago, I was guided to watch that again and really understand it from a different perspective. From this perspective, now that I have the background, I should say, of this ascension journey. Everything that you read, every time that you look at art, every time that you read a book over and over again, every time that you listen to a song at different phases of your life, it's going to resonate differently. If it's resonating the same as it did 5 years ago, 1 year ago, even a month ago, then it's stagnant energy. Then you're stuck in the same energy. You're stuck in the same cycle. But if you are picking up a book and you're getting something new out of it, if you're listening to a song and it's resonating with you in a different way, in a transformed way, it's because of your inner transformation. It's because you're applying that energy to the lyrics or to the words or to whatever it is that you're interpreting in the art. That is I love art. Like, that is the beauty of art. It is how it transcends the moment that it's created, and it travels with you. It helps to helps your understanding. So, that all that being said, use your discernment, but trust your intuition as far as what you're guided to watch, what you're guided to read, what you're guided to look at, what you're guided to listen to, because there's something there that's probably resonating with you to either teach you or to support you or to just allow you to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. Okay. I'm thinking about starting a new YouTube channel, just to talk about art and books and all that fun stuff. It's been on my mind for a long time now because I'm so passionate about freaking everything, and it's so hard to it's hard to, oh, look who masculine. It's so hard to kind of narrow down everything. Hi, Michelle. All right. What else do we need to know? What do we need to know with this eclipse when it comes to counterparts? What do we need to know when it comes to this eclipse, when it comes to counterparts? I'm going to use this deck. I want to see where the masculine is. So let's put that away. Where's the masculine in the current energy? Like I said, I feel like this eclipse energy, especially this eclipse energy, and what I'm actually getting is we have another eclipse, a lunar eclipse on solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, I forget, November 8th. There's another eclipse. We're in eclipse season. So I feel like there's this quarter between now and November 8th that there's going to be a lot of movement. And what I'm actually getting is internal movement, as in shifts and transformation, but also physical movement. Maybe that could be within your actual connection, communication, reunions, meetups, things like that. Or it could be just that maybe there's projects, maybe there's changes in finances, promotions, new jobs, new home life, whatever this is. There's something that feels very physical about this. But again, as within, so without. It's the inner work that creates the outer work. It doesn't come from the external. The external circumstances don't necessarily change the internal. You have to change and shift the energy. And I feel like the energy is shifting so much within that you're going to start seeing that reflected in very physical changes. Now, it doesn't have to be so drastic. I do feel like it's going to be a little bit drastic for the masculines. I do feel like there's going to be some significant changes. Maybe they're leaving jobs, maybe they're starting new jobs, maybe there's a change in their finances, but it's all something that feels like it's what I'm actually seeing is like they're putting the pieces together. They might not be able to understand how it's all playing a part, how it's all being pieced together for their greater good. And that's why it might create a little bit of a tower moment. It might create a little bit of upheaval for them because they're not seeing it from that higher perspective of surrender. There's a lot of stubborn energy and there's a lot of resistance that's being released, especially with this moon cycle. But I do feel like whatever it is that is changing both within them and in their external experiences, this could be for you as well. This is your inner masculine. Whatever is being experienced, I do feel like it's going to have, in the long run, a very positive association with it. Again, they might not be associating positively with it, but it will have in the long run a positive association. The universe is aligning because they're going through this internal shift. The universe is aligning some things, and I feel like those shakeups, there's a lot of resistance to it because it's getting them out of their comfort zone. It's creating a different version of their life that it's almost like they want to stay. I'm seeing like this. I'm seeing I want to stay like hooded like that. Like they're putting like their hood over their face. Like they want to stay where they were. but they know that they can't. And I don't entirely feel like they want to. I do feel like they want to change. It's just the act of change that can be really, really scary. And so that's where we have compassion for each other, because change can be scary. But I do feel like there are significant steps forward. They might not be able to associate yet with any positivity, but it's going to lead to really positive changes because of the internal energy shift that's happening within them. They're getting out of an old version of themselves. They're ending karmic cycles. They're ending significant really negative association. So if they were really stuck in a negative cycle, I don't want to use the word negative, but in a difficult cycle, a challenging cycle that they kept replaying over and over and over again on this like loop, they're jumping off of that turntable. They're jumping off of that merry-go-round. We had channeled this, God, I don't even know when. It was a collective message where it was like the divine feminine. Do you guys remember this? A long time ago, months ago now, we had channeled a collective message where it felt like the divine feminine was in an amusement park, and she was on this merry-go-round, just going around and around and around in a circle, and finally she had to make the choice to get off of it. And that's where her connection and her journey really shifted and really changed. Do you guys remember that? I feel like that's the energy that the masculine is in right now, where they're making that conscious choice to get off of that merry-go-round because they were just going around and around in that loop. And so it might feel really uncomfortable for them, but I do feel like it's going to make waves, is what I'm hearing. It's going to make a significant impact, a positive impact on their life. I feel like they're just kind of still negatively associating change with the past, or change with trauma, or change with pain, and projecting that onto this energy. But they're gonna move out of this energy. I feel like spirit's gonna help support them move out of that energy. All right, let's see what the energy is for the masculine. Let me know. I just want to make sure that the chat and everything isn't frozen. So just give a little wave or something that everything is still working here. All right, masculine energy. Where's the masculine right now, currently in this eclipse energy? Where's the masculine? Cool. Thank you, Alan. Okay, we have woman holding coin, we have adjacent possibilities, and we have the door to spirit. So we're asking what's being experienced with the masculine right now in this eclipse energy. This, we have at the bottom of the deck, I'm called to take this as well. We have financial constraints. So this could be actually financial constraints where there's actually, financial issues. This lack energy, this scarcity, or this could be energetically scarce, energetically lacking. I do feel, or like lack of self worth, that kind of thing, lack of value, not seeing everything that they can bring to the table. I do feel like this woman holding coin. I don't feel like this is you. I do feel like this is some kind of either a situation or a connection. This could be a mother figure, like an authority figure, a mother figure. This could be a relationship. This could be a situation. I don't read third parties as specifically relationships. Third party energy can be, or karmic energy could be, situations as well. So I do feel like this really is coming through as like this mother energy. It could be, it could be like a wife. It could be an actual mother. It could be somebody that they were connected to in the past. But it does really feel like what I'm getting is somebody holding the strings, possibly even the purse string. So this might be really specific for somebody. Take it as it's resonating for you, but I'm getting that somebody might be holding the strings in some sense. This energy doesn't necessarily feel good. It doesn't necessarily feel stable. But I feel like this energy, remember when I said how everybody's playing a role, everybody's playing a part, even if it's really hard to see, even if it's really hard to accept that, we have to stop looking at things as black and white and start looking at things from like that middle perspective, that middle path. that higher perspective. That's what this feels like. It feels like, even though this doesn't feel good to this masculine, it feels like they are being pushed into this new version of themselves. Like this person is spiritually, energetically pushing them to become a version of themselves that they know that they can be and should be, or not should be, what want to be, but they were just kind of holding themselves back. It's almost like a child who doesn't want to leave the comfort of his mother's arms, but he knows that he wants to fly. He knows that he needs to go. It's that kind of energy. There's a little bit of a codependence here. But I do feel like this masculine is breaking free and seeing that there are new possibilities for them where they felt really trapped and imprisoned and stuck in that hallway. I'm also getting the energy of overwhelmed. So they might, you guys see that? They might have felt overwhelmed by all the different possibilities, and that kept them kind of imprisoned in their own mind. They could have felt like there was no way out. They could have not seen the doors and the windows, but now they're getting a clear picture. Now it's like decisions are being made. Now they're recognizing their choice, their ability to choose for themselves. And spirit is really, really guiding them. And not only that, but they're listening to spirit where they had resisted or ignored their inner guidance, their intuition. I'm also hearing everything that they learned. So if they've been going through this spiritual awakening or in this ascension, and learning a lot, they might have been ignoring certain concepts or ignoring certain um, guidance or understandings or teachings or lessons, especially lessons that they were experiencing themselves. But I do feel like spirit is really guiding them through that new doorway. And this is a new doorway of their life. So I do feel like there's some feelings of constriction right now. And I feel like it's intensifying with this eclipse energy, but they're really getting called to move into the next level, to move through that doorway. Look, 2 doors here, 3 doors, 3 doors. So moving out of that lack, and this is a mindset, shifting the mindset, no longer being in the energy of self-criticism, of lack, of scarcity, of of victimhood. Woe is me, that kind of energy, moving out of the lack and moving into fullness, abundance. And when are you most abundant? When you're connected to God, when you're connected to spirit, when you're connected to the soul of yourself, that is when you're most abundant. And so they're beginning to really understand that and feel that and anchor that in, or at least they're going to be going through that shift. Whew, how's that resonating for you guys? I'm going to pause here because this is a lot of energy that's coming through before we check in on the feminine. This is a lot of energy. I gotta be honest, I wasn't expecting this tonight. I thought we were just gonna really do just like a channeling and chill kind of thing, but this is intense. This is something. Getting messages from Meg, who's listening and texting me at the same time. I love you so much. All right, we're going to move on to the feminine. Let's see what's going on for the feminine with this eclipse energy. All right, what's being experienced with the feminine, or for the feminine with this eclipse energy? Yep, I'm going to take these 2. Wow. Okay, so I was asked to stop shuffling. At the bottom of the deck, we have the door to romance. Again, doors. Doors. You got the same card as the Divine Masculine. Oh, and look what just flipped over to show. I don't know if you guys saw. Yeah, you guys probably saw that. Look, it's the yin yang. It's that union energy. So you're really feeling into that union. You're really experiencing that union, especially within yourself, anchoring that in. So I feel and remember, romance is an energy. It's how you put in the effort. It's how you take care of yourselves. It's how you express yourselves. Um, it's how you express that love. How you express your heart. So we have the same card as the divine masculine, but I don't feel that same emptiness or that lack or that scarcity that the masculine was feeling. This feels more like value, like you're valuing yourself. Um, I'm getting this energy like things might have been at a pause, financially, work wise, materially, whatever that something tangible. It felt like it might have been at a pause, but I feel like you're feeling back up. And it's because this is you. You're in this energy of love. Remember, we had the Woman of Pentacles or whatever that card was for the masculine is interesting because I kept thinking, this isn't the feminine. This doesn't feel like the feminine. It really doesn't. This feels like the feminine. I was waiting for this card to come out, but it's coming out for you, Divine Feminines. You also have the Goddess of the Moon. So I really feel like in this energy, you are recognizing your strength, recognizing your power, recognizing your goddess energy. It's self-empowerment. It's recognizing your truth, recognizing your authenticity, recognizing your your abilities. That's where what I mean by power, like your abilities, your intuitiveness, your connection to spirit. Um, this is just pure empress, high priestess, goddess energy. Really, really beautiful. So I feel like you're in this energy of just holding steady within yourself, remaining balanced within yourself, and clearing any of this up. Anywhere where there is any scarcity or lack, I feel like you're clearing that up. If it felt like things were at a pause, things are going to be gaining momentum. And it's because you're in the vibration of love. Love begets abundance. Love begets everything. Love is so expansive in nature. So the more that you're in this energy of love, the more that you are filling up that chest, that you're filling up those shelves with just so much abundance, and not just materially, but energetically as well. Romance might be coming in as well for you. I had an experience a couple of days ago, a couple of nights ago, as I was either waking up or falling asleep. I can't remember, but I felt soulmate energy just surrounding me. And soulmate energy is very different from divine counterpart or sacred partner energy. It just felt very compatible, very easy, very loving. And I sat with myself for a little bit and tried to figure out what it was that was. For some, there's a lot more soulmates that are coming in, more of your soul family that are coming in to be part of this journey with you. For some, this means a soulmate connection that is coming in as far as a romantic relationship. And for others, it means that your twin flame journey is moving into the twin soul energy. And in the twin flame truths, I kind of differentiate between that. Remember, it's just a label for the energy that we're experiencing. Um, from the very beginning of this channel, of my journey, I use the terms twin flame and twin soul interchangeably, wherein twin flame feels it's still the same energy. It could even be the same person, but it's just a difference in the level of your ascension, the level of your journey. So the twin flame is where you are triggering each other, where it feels really intense, where it feels really like you're going through the healing aspect of your journey. Then you move into the twin soul energy where it feels just more harmonious. You're not having, you might still have challenges, you might still have triggers, you might still have difficulties, especially or conflict, but you're able to consciously now work together in more harmony, in more partnership, in more love. Um, so it feels like you're moving into this twin soul kind of energy. Now, it could be the same person where it's just moving out of that intense triggering projection, all that shitty part of the journey, all that pain part of the journey, and moving into just a really where you're just compatible. You're compatible with your counterpart even as twin flames, right? But all that soul sludge, all that karma, all that crap comes up to the surface to be healed. That's the journey. That's the path, right? but moving into more of that harmony, more of that connection, more of that love being experienced without all that stuff in between. That's that twin soul kind of energy. I just use those terms, same energy, could be even be the same person. I just use that to kind of differentiate between the different phases of your journey and how we're experiencing. We're kind of graduating from one level of our journey into the next. So it really feels more like compatible, like a soulmate, essentially. Um, so it feels that soulmate energy, it could even be that twin soul energy. It could come in a number of different ways, but there's a lot of soulmate energy that is around us right now. Um, and it feels good. Like the soulmate energy feels really good. Even if it's your twin flame in that twin soul energy or that soulmate energy, it feels really good. It feels really harmonious. It feels really much more balanced. And that's because of your journey. That's because of how you've healed within yourself. It's no longer the wounded version of yourself attracted to the wounded version of somebody else. It's much more secure. It's much more stable. And it's just much more open and intimately loving. I should say emotionally intimate and loving. So there is that energy that's been coming through as well, and I feel like we'll be seeing that over the next couple of weeks, especially with this energy. You just left the pain. Good, good. Keep releasing that. Keep releasing that energy. Anything that is pain, keep releasing it. What? You want to go out? All right. Give me 1 second. I'm here. I know. You're such a good boy. All right. Go. Okay. Jen says, basically holding space for him and sending unconditional love. We are in total separation in the 3D, but I feel things stirring. Yeah, I'm experiencing that as well. I'm actually feeling really good about things, even though it's complete 3D human separation. I don't feel separate. I feel very connected to him and his higher self. I feel very connected to him energetically, and it's almost like that's all I need. Because I don't want the 3D relationship that we had in the past. Um, I mean, there are aspects of that that I love and that I miss and that I want, but there were also many ways where it was unhealthy, where it was very insecure, where it was just very, it just didn't feel good. And so I want what I'm feeling energetically to be aligned in the 3D. I want that. I want that connection with him in the 3D, but only if it is aligned, only if it's and I feel like that's not to put pressure on the masculine at all. It's not to put any kind of pressure on the masculine. It's just to honor what it is that you feel within your heart, and to, like you said, hold space for that, to hold space and unconditional love for that, wherever it is that their journey is taking them in the 3D, in the human experience, but also feeling aligned to them energetically. I don't know if that makes sense. It's hard to put into words what I've been feeling lately. It is just love. I don't know how to explain it. It is just love without needing anything from the 3D. At the same time, there's also that desire to want something in the 3D, but again, not of the past. It's hard to explain. It's hard to articulate, especially when it's like there's such a difference in energy. And I think that's why this journey has been so confusing for so many of us. It's because we feel it energetically, and we're seeing something different. We're seeing different evidence of it or different data of it in our physical world. And it's like, why aren't things matching up? Why aren't things aligning? And that's where it gets really confusing for us, because we can feel it. We're having these experiences. I mean, the number of phenomena that I've experienced on this journey energetically is just mind blowing. So we're having these very real experiences. They are absolutely real, even though they're energetic. but it's like, but where is that in the 3D? So it's very confusing, but at the same time, that's where we have to kind of balance out that trusting our intuition and just, kind of holding space for that energy, but also accepting, that they're on their own journey. They are, we're loving them and sending them energy and holding that space energetically, but they are experiencing um, their journey in the physical too. This journey is very confusing. I mean, it's very confusing. And I think the more that we just trust and surrender, I think the less painful it kind of tends to become. Yeah, it does. It has to be a different 3D relationship. It has to. Because you're different people too. Don't forget that either. You're different. I was just talking to a friend. The energy that I'm in, it's like I'm a different person. And I love that. I'm still me, but I'm a different energy. I'm in a different state of mind than I used to be. I'm not accepting what I used to. I am, just when I experienced Lyme disease and the awakening, and that was a huge catalyst for my awakening, where I had to learn how to surrender. I had to learn how to grow. I had to learn how to change. That was a huge catalyst for me. I learned so much from that experience. I thought that journey had really changed me, and I used to say it made me stronger. I stood up for myself in ways that I never thought that I could. Advocate for myself and for others in a way that I never thought that I could, because I used to be so incredibly shy and have a lot of anxiety too. And that experience really helped me grow in so many ways and reach a higher level of myself that I didn't know was possible, because I had been in a certain version of myself for so long. But life is about that expansion. We are here to expand. We are here to grow internally within our soul self, within our hearts, within who we are at the core. And this ascension journey just kind of accelerated that and made that grow like tenfold. So to be here in this energy, I never thought it was possible. I thought that Lyme made me stronger and made me, stand up for myself more and speak up and express myself more. But this journey is like, I don't even know how to explain it. You guys get it because you've been going through the same thing. It is the deepest layer of transformation. And I feel so incredibly grateful for this journey, as difficult as it was. It unlocked so many layers within me that I didn't even think could exist. I'm a version of myself now that I didn't even think I could be. And I know that's just going to keep going, because your expansion just keeps going. And it's pretty thrilling, actually. It's pretty beautiful to think about the so many different ways that you can keep expanding into better and better versions of yourself. Where you thought that you were open and loving before, the depth of that openness, the depth of that love. Where you thought that you were expressing yourself before, expressing yourself in new ways, in deeper ways, more vulnerable ways. It's just, it's just so beautiful. And, in the very beginning of your connection was that dangling carrot, right? You were going through all this work and doing all the shadow work and all the mirror work and all that stuff, because you're like, well, if I heal, they heal, that kind of thing. Let's see what this does for our connection. But then there was a shift where you began to realize, oh, I'm shifting within myself. Like, how beautiful is this? And when you begin to recognize the transformation within yourself, nothing else matters. Like the relationship doesn't matter. You recognize how beautiful it is to grow within yourself, and what that expansion means for yourself and your life, and how it's having a positive impact on the people around you and the things around you, how your entire life is leveling up because of you doing your inner work. And that becomes the carrot. That becomes the reason that you want to keep growing, that you want to keep expanding, because it's like, it feels so peaceful within yourself. And once you feel that peace within yourself, it's like you don't want to go back. You don't want to go back to that heaviness. You don't want to go back to that pain. You don't want to go back to that drama or that tension. Once you feel that peace within yourself, it's like, this is what it was for. This is what the journey led me to. It led me to, Spirit just corrected me. Spirit just said, it led you home. It leads you home. It leads you home to yourself. It leads you home to God. Okay, that really activated me. Bear with me a second. That was incredibly emotional, and incredibly beautiful. And I am just finding myself so freaking grateful when I think of where I was and who I was. I liked who I was. Like I said, Lyme disease brought me through so much hell, and it taught me so much, and it made me really grow to love myself. But this ascension journey just, I never thought that this amount of love was ever possible. And when I say love, loving yourself, I mean really connecting with yourself. You know, people tend to think that loving yourself is something selfish or something, conceited. But when you truly love and honor yourself, it's just a different energy. You are feeling connected to the entire world, and not in like a superficial way, but in a deep way. You're feeling it, and it just opens your heart, and you're just so connected to God. You're coming home to yourself. You're absolutely coming home to yourself. Okay. That was, oh God, emotional. Hi, baby girl. All right. All right. Where are we? What are we doing? All right. Let's take a beat. Yeah. When you experience and you allow yourself to experience this love, when you stop fighting it, when you stop resisting it, when you surrender to it, when you surrender, because what you're doing when you're surrendering on this journey is you're surrendering to yourself, because you realize that you were just in resistance to yourself. That's all it was. You might look like you're in resistance to their connection. You might look like you're in resistance to relationship. You might look like you're in resistance to commitment. You might look like you're in resistance to whatever it is. But at the end of the day, what it is you're just in resistance to yourself. You're in resistance to God and connecting to God within you. And whatever it is that you want to call God, the universe, creator, whatever, that God source within you. You're connecting to the God source within you. You are just surrendering to that. You're surrendering to yourself. And so when we talk about the masculine being in resistance, being in that stubborn energy, it's just because they're resisting themselves on some level. And a lot of that has to do with pain and trauma. And divine feminines, I speak about the divine masculines because divine feminines, you've been through that. That's what your journey was. Your journey was surrendering to yourself, letting go of that resistance to who you truly are as divine feminine. Because maybe you were in your masculine energy, or maybe you were in your pain or your wounding or your distorted self. The masculines are going through the exact same thing where they're just in resistance to themselves. And I feel very strongly that this eclipse is going to push them out of that and move them through it. And I feel like divine feminine, that's where you're holding space, because you've been through that. You fought yourself too. You were in resistance to yourself too. You had to surrender too. Divine masculines are just going through it now, just like you did. It takes work to release the emotions that hurt so deeply. Absolutely. And we don't bypass here. We're all love and light, but we're also shadow and darkness. It's all of it, all of it. We do not negate the human aspect, because this ascension journey, and this is what Merlin taught us in the Camelot channeling over on my sister channel, Susan Dawn Ascension Connections. Check that out if you guys haven't already. Merlin came through unexpectedly, actually, to talk with us about ascension and how that's what we're here for. We're here to be that bridge between the human and the spiritual self. So we don't get into our spiritual ego and bypass all the human stuff, and we don't stay stuck in the human, that we forget that we're spiritual beings. We are the bridge. And especially as twins, as divine counterparts on this ascension journey, we are paving a path and leading the way for that bridge to be built. That bridge was already built. It's that rainbow bridge that we've been channeling for the past several years. That foundation, that rainbow matrix has been created, and that foundation has been laid down. But now it's about us embodying being the bridge. We embody the bridge now. We embody that union. And that's what the bridge is. The bridge is union. So Merlin talked more about that in the channeling. So make sure you're checking that out too. Okay. Guidance. Let's get some guidance here. What guidance do we need for the masculines, or what does the masculine need to hear? Remember, this could be for your inner masculine as well, because we work with both energies. And that's what aligns us to our inner union. We're working with both energies. What is the masculine? What's guidance for the masculine? Or what is the masculine? Oh, whatever comes forth. What does the masculine need to know? Have faith in your dreams. I'm getting this energy of renewal. Where remember when we were just talking about the masculine and resistance to themselves? I feel like they held back a lot of their passions, they held back a lot of themselves. They suppressed a lot, and a lot of that suppression was because they suppressed the feminine energy within them. But as the feminine within them is healing and rising, as they allow themselves to honor that feminine energy, a lot of that creativity is being sparked as well. A lot of those dreams that they once had are coming back to the surface. There's this energy of renewal, this energy of passion, a desire for life, a desire to make changes for life. So I feel like where they had really stuffed that down, tried to forget it, tried to ignore it, kind of settled into their life as it was. Oh, that's part of that woe was me energy. Oh, this is just where I am. This is what my life is going to be forever and ever and ever. Maybe not believing that they could change. I feel like maybe they had tried to escape in some ways. This could be through some kind of addiction. This could be through alcohol, drugs, video games, sex, whatever it was, trying to numb that energy down because it was very painful to acknowledge where they had let their dreams kind of die. There's this sense of renewal that's coming forth, and this sense of faith that is coming forth as well. I'm also getting a message for the divine feminines, because I feel like divine feminine, you're having a role in this. The more that you're anchored into your trust and faith, this is not how do I say this? It's not just like a blind faith. It's really anchoring in your knowing, anchoring in your connection to God, just really allowing yourself to follow the path. That's your surrender, trusting your intuition, being that balance between acceptance and faith. So it's not like blind faith. It's not like hope. This is real, just trust. And faith is trust, right? So I feel like the more that you're anchored into that energy, the more the masculine is picking up on that energy and feeling that. And the more it's allowing their dreams to come to the surface. They're really beginning to envision a life for themselves that they didn't think was possible. And I'm hearing because of who they thought they were, or who they settled themselves to be. Now they're realizing that they can be their highest potential, that they can be their best self. It doesn't matter the expectations of others. It doesn't matter what other people think of them. It doesn't matter even what they thought of themselves in the past. What matters is, who do you want to become? And that's the choice that we were talking about earlier. You know, the trauma is the opposite of choice, or choice is the opposite of trauma. You know, moving out of that old stuck energy and choosing to heal, choosing to do the work, choosing to put in the effort, choosing to change the patterns, choosing to become who they know that they truly are in their heart and that they've always wanted to become. So there's a sense of renewal that's coming forth. Really beautiful. All right, feminines, guidance for the feminines. What does the feminine need to know right now with this eclipse energy? I do feel like there's this eclipse energy is really moving a lot of energy. It's moving a lot of energy. And I feel like we're going to see that forward momentum continue. We've been picking up on this since the summer. We're going to see that forward momentum continue and pick up over the next several weeks and months. Solstice energy has really been coming through. You okay? You okay? Solstice energy has really been coming through in my channelings as significant. So I do feel like there's going to be significant shifts as we roll into the new year. And again, I feel like momentum is going to be picking up before that. Maybe you're going to be seeing communication or action or something different within the external world in the new year. For masculines, it's going to be maybe new jobs, new, better connections, better dynamics, new financial situations, new homes, whatever this is. For the feminines, it really does feel like just a lot more prosperity, more abundance, more love, more connection, more whatever this is. So it does feel like there's going to be more coming through, more momentum coming through as we move towards the end of the year and into the new year. I'm feeling, and I'm not an astrologer, so I have no idea if this is true or not, but I feel like there's a significant cosmic event. They're showing me planets aligning in the stars right now, or planets aligning in the sky over the solstice. So I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if there's like some kind of significant conjunction that's happening or what, but I feel like the solstice is not just the solstice. There's something cosmically supporting us. There's something significant that's happening with the planets that are aligning. Again, I'm not an astrologer. I have no idea what any of that means, but that's what they're showing me. They're showing me the alignment of the planets that are helping to support this shift that we're going to be really experiencing and seeing. What I'm actually hearing is the momentum that we're picking up until the solstice is going to anchor in with this cosmic energy. So with the solstice energy and with whatever the hell is happening astrologically. Again, I have no idea what that is. I'm not an astrologer, but it feels like there's something significant that's happening cosmically. So if you guys know, let me know, drop me a comment. And if not, then I'll do some research and see if there's actually anything that's happening. But that's what they're showing me. They're showing me some kind of alignment in the sky that is going to significantly anchor in this new energy, and it's going to have a positive, significant impact because it's anchoring in this new energy. So the momentum we're picking up on anchored in. Okay. Yep. New moon eclipse. Yep. That's now. That's not where, just to be clear, that's not where we're talking about coming up, but that's happening now, the new moon eclipse. All right, divine feminines. What do we need to know for, that's not cool. What do we need to know for the divine feminines? Divine feminines, we have, I'm feeling this one. We have, what's on the bottom of the deck? Okay, I'm going to take this one too. Don't let your past hold you back. And what I'm feeling from this is keep moving forward. You have shifted tremendously. Keep moving forward. Keep looking forward. There is value in reflection. And especially if you're reunited with your counterpart, there is value in communicating about the past in a healthy way, not harping on the past, not holding on to resentment, through forgiveness, through loving and conscious communication. Because I'm hearing some doors need to be closed. Some doors need to be, like, some situations need to be resolved. There needs to be some kind of communication for conclusions in order to move forward. But don't let your past, don't stay stuck in the past. Don't let your energy be stuck in the past. Allow for this transformation. I'm also hearing the word flourish. Allow for yourself to flourish. There is powerful change that is coming through. And look, it's a new mini eclipse. Look, new mini eclipse. So there is powerful change that is coming through for you as well. And I feel like this is actually moving you. Remember when I talked about, like, it feels like a quantum leap? This energy is helping you move into the next level of your life. Possibly even your connection, but especially for your individual life. So don't hold on to past energy. Don't hold on to past resentments. Don't hold on to past patterns, past relationships, past pain. Allow everything to transform. All right. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to let my cat in, and then I'm going to open it up. Is there anything else that you guys want me to channel tonight? Any other questions collectively? Let me know as I let my cat in. Okay, well, instead they both wanted to leave. So, okay. I am animalist. Is there anything that you guys want me to collectively channel tonight? Any question, any topic with regards to counterpart connections or ascension? Anything that you want to know? We can pull some tarot, or we can wrap up. Guys got me crying tonight. Wow, this was emotional. I have to, when I'm channeling, I have no idea what I'm saying. It's just a flood of energy and a flood of emotion and a flood of messages that come through. And I'm just, like I said earlier, I'm just kind of like spilling it out. It comes from deep inside of me and it just kind of spills forth. And in my mind, it feels like it's not making sense. So I have to sometimes watch it back for it to fully make sense. I feel like this is one of them because it's very powerful energy. Is there anything else you guys want to know? Open forum. We'll do an ask me anything. No holds barred. Anything's on the table. Ask me anything. Let's do that. We'll go until about 9:30, I think. So feel free to ask me anything. Anything at all. We'll just have an open chat now. You guys getting any music downloads lately? I had a couple come in. Oldies but goodies. I can't remember now what they were, but oldies but goodies. Spirit guide. No, I don't know what you mean by that. What's the question? How about we pull some True Love Oracle and just kind of see where both counterparts are with each other. Spirit guide. A card. Do you mean like my conversations with Spirit deck? Is that what you mean? Always so hard to know when we're in separation if I should reach out in 3D. When I have done that before, I've been shut down by him, so I've been trying to just reach out energetically. So Jen, what I'm getting is just don't reach, because that reaching is in a sense like attaching control. It's that energy, like you don't have to reach for anything. You as a divine feminine, allow yourself to receive, allow it to come to you. Sometimes you are the one to reach out in the 3D to communicate. But that's where you trust your intuition. Always use your discernment. Always trust your intuition. How does it feel? Does it feel like peace, or does it feel like anxiety? If it feels like anxiety, let me say it like this. The mind is very tricky. The ego is very tricky. If it feels really good and really peaceful, trust that initial intuition. If you then start going in the what ifs, if your mind starts spiraling and making up stories and saying, well, they're going to do this and this and this, that's the ego. Go with your initial intuition. That will never fail you. Your initial intuition. If it feels like peace initially, trust that. If it doesn't feel right initially, trust that. But don't reach for anything, because that reaching kind of energy, if you can see, like it creates tension in your body. Especially as a divine feminine, allow yourself to receive. So allow yourself to receive the intuition of when to reach out or not. You had a couple yesterday, funny ones you don't want to share. That's fine. That's fine. All right, let's use these cards and see how's the divine masculine feeling about this connection. Emotional freedom. I'm just getting this major heart expansion where they're feeling everything, almost like feeling a flood of emotions. They might be feeling very overwhelmed by emotions. So if you guys have been feeling overwhelmed with emotions, you might be picking up on their energy. But it doesn't feel constricted anymore. It doesn't feel like when they're thinking about this connection, when they're thinking about you, it doesn't feel painful. It doesn't feel tense. It doesn't feel like friction. I don't feel like they're projecting their pain and their trauma and their shit onto you anymore. This feels like they are just really in their heart. I feel like they are beginning to openly love you. I was going to say openly loving you, but it still feels like they're letting down that guard. And I feel like little by little, they're letting that guard down, because I feel like this love is just very overwhelming for them because it hadn't been experienced before. For you too, divine feminines, this love was very overwhelming for you, but you just kind of went with it, right? You just trusted it. But it was more difficult for the divine masculine because they were so suppressed emotionally. It was harder for them to open up and acknowledge their emotions and feel their emotions, especially when it comes to love. Remember, divine masculines, especially males in this society, has been generationally suppressed. Generationally suppressed when it comes to their emotions, learned behavior not to express themselves. And so the masculine is doing a beautiful job of beginning to become more consciously aware of that pattern and shift that belief and shift that pattern, and learning how to become more vulnerable rather than avoiding or running away or suppressing their emotions. They're becoming much more conscious and more aware, and it's going to change everything. I'm hearing that's what makes them the conscious divine masculine, is being able to express and hold space for their own emotions, for their divine feminine's emotions, and for others' emotions. So there's a lot. I feel like you've been showing them, divine feminines, you've been showing them how to be more emotionally expressive and emotionally free, and it's just expanding their love for you and their heart. Yeah, intimacy. These all upside down. Intimacy, becoming more emotionally intimate, more emotionally vulnerable, energetically intimate. This is not about sexuality. This is not about physical, sex. This is about emotional vulnerability and intimacy, allowing yourself to feel those emotions. That's what they're doing here. If the world was, oh my gosh, that song. I channeled that song in a reading a couple of days ago, weeks ago. I can't remember, but man, yeah, I feel that song. Oh yeah, you just said. Then it came up in one of my recent connection readings. Yeah, that song, man, that's emotional. I was feeling that. It's hard sometimes, yeah, but trust your intuition, even though it's hard. Some of that difficult is the anxiousness that you might feel, especially like if you have that anxious attachment, especially if you have the anxious attachment from this connection. That's just something to keep healing and to keep being aware of and keep recognizing. Um, Melissa, just coming in from behind. Oh my gosh, you're funny. I have felt overwhelmed with emotions, almost feeling bitter, but sort of knowing I'm stepping into my own personal power and knowing that I deserve better all along. Yeah. And some of that might be coming up for you. So it's not all the masculine that you're feeling, although it could be residual. You might be feeling some of that energy come up within yourself too, that's just being cleared. I talked about that in the ascension relationship reading, where it feels almost like little pinpricks. So you might be feeling like residual anger or resentment, or like, I can't believe that I allowed this behavior. I can't believe that I did this, or I can't believe that he did that. But it's all just you recognizing where you were not honoring yourself, where you were abandoning yourself. Your counterpart was showing you that reflection of where you needed to step up for yourself. Does not excuse any poor behavior, just like any poor behavior on your part is not excused. But you show each other the mirror, and that's where the healing is, and that's where you fill yourself up with more love. The pain is where the holes are. The pain is where the love needs to be more. So yes, good. Stepping more into your power. Amazing. You've detached and surrendered because there's nothing more you can do. Yep. Yeah. I mean, at some point you reach this place where you're just like, it's just what it is. It's surrender. It's just like, you recognize that they're on their own journey, and just like you've been on your journey, and you can have belief in them, you can hold that faith, but you can't do the journey for them. It's again choice. It's all about that conscious choice. And just like you made a conscious choice to heal, they must do the same. But you're good if he chooses not to. That's exactly how I'm feeling. I just feel like I feel so connected energetically. And it's like, of course, like I love him so much, and I love our family that we had created, but there was so much unhealthiness there too because of our own wounding that was coming up in between us and preventing so much. Like we were basically in a situationship, even though we had a relationship, and a situation is a relationship. But it wasn't, fully expressive. It wasn't, always loving. Even though there was always love underneath the surface, there was so much pain and trauma that was coming up and projection that was coming up, and it wasn't healthy. And it's like, I don't want to go back to that. I want something better with him if possible, but I'm good if it's not, because at the end of the day, two people have to make a choice to be together and to want the same things and to align, essentially. And so that's where that surrender, you have to keep surrendering and letting go and releasing the relationship itself too. And it's painful. It is painful, but the more you connect within yourself and the more you connect to God, the more you realize that you're not lacking anything, because you feel that union within you. And when you feel that union within you, you know that no matter what, you're going to align to a union. You're gonna, it's confusing, because it's like, well, was he a false twin? Was he a karmic twin? Was he my real twin? At the end of the day, I believe that he's my twin. I'm speaking for myself, for my own experiences here. I know that he's my twin, but it's up to him whether he wants to be a life partner. And I'm not holding on to that anymore. I've just kind of allowed myself to trust the path of love and trust the path that God is leading me down. Because I feel that inner union within myself. And that's the only thing that I know. That's the only thing that I'm certain of on this entire journey, is my connection with myself and with God. And at the end of the day, I feel like that's the only thing that I need to be certain of. That's the only thing I really need to trust. At the core, trust that, and it'll lead me to where I need to be. So I'm speaking for myself here, for my own experiences. Take it if it resonates for you, disregard it if it doesn't. I'm just kind of speaking out loud here, share my own experiences, because maybe my experiences will help you guys understand where you are or things that are happening for you. But obviously, use your discernment and take it as it resonates for you. It's the easiest way to discern which emotions are ours versus DMs. I felt a lot lately. I'm back in a bit of fear. Keep releasing. Keep connecting to yourself. Keep connecting to your heart space. Keep centering yourself, and especially keep connecting to God, your connection to God, and keep releasing your DM's energy. You're not meant to soak up your masculine's energy. You can feel your energy because you're always connected, because you are sharing an energy field, essentially, not just sharing an energy field like you would with other people, but you are one soul. You are essentially that one soul. So you're sharing a chakra system, you're sharing an energy field. But it doesn't have to be, you don't have to take on their pain. That's not yours to transmute. You can hold space for them. You can assist them and support them and help them, but it's not yours to transmute. So don't soak it up. Have those boundaries, have those energetic boundaries, and set those intentions with love, with love and compassion. Yours is yours and mine is mine, that kind of thing. You're always going to feel them. But like I said, if you're feeling that heaviness and it's draining you, have those energetic boundaries, because it's not meant to drain you. You can't help anything or anyone if you're being drained. And make sure that you're allowing yourself to feel uplifted and grow within your connection. Your connection should feel really uplifting, not all the time because you're transmuting, obviously, but essentially your connection, these sacred partner connections, are the catalyst for growth, and for your ascension. And as long as it's helping you level up and helping you transform into the best version of yourself, that's how you know that you're in the sacred partnership. Okay, let's pull one more card here. Divine Feminine, how are you feeling towards your masculine? Oh, I guess we're taking this one. Expansive is what I'm getting. Just really expansive. And I feel like you're in your life purpose, you're in your strength, you're in your self-empowerment, you're embodying just all of that energy. And because you're embodying all that loving energy filled up your cup, you're able to expand that into the rest of the world, into life. So I feel like you are recognizing the expansive nature of yourself through this connection, the expansive nature of love, and just allowing yourself to feel the love. So allow yourself to feel the love. That's a beautiful place to be. You don't have to hold back love. With regards to your divine counterpart, you definitely don't have to hold back love. You might have felt like you needed to, but that was only coming from wounding. Yeah, this journey can be extremely stressful. I've been coming down from that stress, especially the past couple of months, just kind of healing my body, my mind, regulating my system again, especially where there was so much anxiety stored up that I hadn't realized was anxiety, because I was still at the same time feeling a lot of peace. But there was a lot. So allow yourself to do what you need to nurture yourself and take care of yourself and heal from the stress of the journey. And that's part of releasing the journey itself. I talk about that in Journey's End. There are 2 channelings on that. I think they're actually like a year apart over on my sister channel. Journey's End, we talk about the transition from one phase of our journey and moving into the next. And one phase of our journey is letting go of that pressure cooker, letting go of that container of what the journey was before, where we were so focused on relationship, we were so focused on the healing, we were so focused on the transmuting, and we were leveling up in our spiritual work. That was absolutely needed. It was a phase of our journey that we had to experience, but now it's all about embodying that, integrating everything that we've learned and embodying that, We're not meant to just be like in our little corners and doing our spiritual work. Our spiritual work is about, it's what they're bringing me to is like, Yeshua, Jesus, Yeshua. He learned a lot, and then when I say he learned a lot, it's like he really connected to his spiritual self. He learned through God. He was experiencing his own kind of like ascension journey. And then it's like he went out and he taught people, but it wasn't that he gave sermons so much. It was his embodiment. It was how he interacted with people. It's how he talked with people. It's how he engaged with people. It's about embodying this ascension. So I have no idea why I just said that, but yeah, I have no idea where that came from, or what we were talking about. Oh, the stress. Yeah. So it's about moving forward in our ascension journeys. It's about embodying now. This is the next phase of our journey, embodying that and going out and really taking all of these tools and these resources that we've learned and this new energy that we're in, and just spreading that light, spreading that love, but not in like a spiritual ego kind of way. We don't do that here, but in a very humanistic way, not forgetting our humanity. Where are we? You're welcome, Danielle. It's crazy how we can swing back and forth between feeling peace and contentment, anxiety when we're in the process of ascension and spiritual. Yep. That's the balancing. Absolutely. It's a freaking roller coaster. 1 minute we're feeling great, and the next minute we're huddled in bed, covers over our heads, crying. My divine counterpart used to say, it's like you're 1,000 different people all at once. And it really used to trigger me because I'm like, I'm just me. Like, I didn't know what he meant because I'm like, I'm just me. And then later I was like, oh, well, welcome to being a woman. Welcome to being a feminine. and that's what it is. Like, we feel so deeply and so much. And it's like, especially on the ascension journey, it's a lot of emotion, a lot of energy that's balancing out within us. And you're constantly transforming, you're constantly growing. So you're gonna be different aspects of yourself at different times. It doesn't mean that you're not authentically you. It just means that you are growing and changing and transforming and feeling a hell of a lot and balancing out all those energies. How do we feel about dating others while in long separation? I feel if you are called to it, if it feels right and it feels peaceful to you, I think it's absolutely fine. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Don't hold yourself back. That's the most important thing. If it feels right to you, do not do it out of resentment. Do not do it out of, well, he's doing this, so I should do this. That's the wrong kind of energy. If it feels right, there are things that you can learn from partners, from other partners. There are things that you can learn from having other relationships. So allow yourself, I met somebody a couple of weeks ago when I was on a trip, and even though there wasn't really anything romantic there, he feels like a really nice kindred soul, like a real soulmate energy. He feels like a really nice companion. And it felt like I was learning about my own masculine energy and how secure I feel within that through him. Like, he was showing me a lot about myself, about my own inner masculine. So I think, that you can always learn from other people. You always learn in relationships. So trust, I mean, I'm not interested in right now dating anybody, but trust yourself. Don't do it just because you feel like time's ticking or just because you think that you need to get moving in life. Only trust yourself and do what you feel is right because you want to, because you feel it's right, because it brings you peace, or because it brings you joy, or because it feels to your intuition like it's the right thing to do. Okay, does that make sense? The journey has been hard, but so immensely beautiful. Yeah. I think I get caught up on the what if of not ending up with my masculine after all of this, though. Yeah. I mean, I want my masculine. It's been a long journey and really hard for me to admit that sometimes. But I love him. I mean, I love him and I'm always going to love him. And it's hard sometimes to think about it not ending with him. But at the same time, I feel really trusting of the journey itself. And I think we have to kind of trust the journey itself at some point, that it's going to lead us or God's going to lead us to whoever and whatever is meant for us. And we're going to feel it too. We're not going to be lacking anything. Nothing's going to be lacking. It's going to feel because we've done the work. We've done the work. So I think just keep trusting and just keep releasing whatever it is that needs to be released, whatever attachment is still there. You're worried your DM and source will think I don't want union anymore. No, honey. Trust, keep releasing that attachment, like I just said, and keep trusting what's in your heart and keep letting God lead you. Follow your intuition, follow your path, not because you're afraid of how somebody else is going to react or what somebody else is going to think, but keep doing what feels intuitively right to you. Even if they are very difficult choices to make sometimes, keep doing what is intuitively right to you. Honor yourself. Keep honoring yourself. And the more that you honor yourself, because you want the same for your masculine, right? You want your masculine to honor themselves, because the more they honor themselves, the more they're able to honor you and other people. So keep honoring yourself, and that'll keep being reflected. All right, y'all. I think I'm losing my voice a little bit. How are you all feeling? I want to make sure everybody's feeling good as we're closing. I'm hoping to have a Sacred Union energy update later this week. Tomorrow's the Patreon message pull and light channeling. So make sure that you're subscribed to join that. Where I'll pull and channel some light messages for you guys personally if you're Ascension Connection subscriber. So that'll be tomorrow night. And then I think we'll do a Sacred Union energy update Wednesday. And maybe even another sacred channeling. I feel like we might do a third Camelot channeling because Merlin's energy is still around. So we'll see what comes through there. But these channelings help keep you grounded. Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. This is a crazy journey. You guys know I've always been upfront and raw and real with you guys. I experienced this myself. It is really freaking confusing. If it wasn't for my soul sisters, I would be just out of my mind. I would not understand anything. But you got to trust yourself. You got to trust what you're feeling. So keep on keeping on. You've got this, you guys. You've got this. You're so welcome, Jen. Thank you guys too. Thank you for being part of an amazing, amazing community. I always say this, but I love you guys so much. You are amazing and insightful and just so beautiful. So I really appreciate you guys too. You're so welcome. I'm really enjoying these live streams, so I'm glad that we're picking up on them and doing more of them. Nilda, I've tried to explain it on a 3D level. I've really tried to do channelings and readings on a 3D level because apparently that's what brings in the views, but I just can't. And I just surrendered. I learned just to surrender to that a number of years ago. So that's why I appreciate you guys so much, because you get it on a soul level, because I can't help it. I just can't. I really tried to understand 3D stuff. I watched some other readers for the 3D stuff too to try to help explain what's happening, but I can't help it. It's just the soul stuff that comes in. So I have to just be grateful to God for that. That's just where my path has led me. So I appreciate you guys for being here with me, as that's part of my path, to be able to bring that soul journey to you guys. So thank you guys for receiving it. I really appreciate that, for being part of this community again. All right, you guys, I love you all. Have a wonderful evening. hang in there during this eclipse energy. You guys are going to be fine. You'll get through it. Just keep grounded. Drink lots of water. Have some Epsom salt baths. Take care of yourself. Nurture yourself with good food, or whatever it is that you need. Lots and lots of love. Yeah, just take care of yourselves. And we'll be back later this week. I love you guys so much, and have a wonderful night. Bye.